welcome to Epic Geek Out, the only show on the internet that has a pet tiger. I'm your host, Rob.
And I'm your host, Chad, and today we're talking about the Hangover 3. It all ends, finally.
It all ends, and on Thursday, we're going to be reviewing The Fast and the Furious 6.
As always, you can check us out over at Twitter at Epic Geek Out. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Epic Geek Out, and also check out the website, www.epicgeekout.com. But let's get into our review of Hangover 3. So The Hangover 3, it stars Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, Zach Galifianakis back in their roles. It is kind of a departure from the first two movies. It doesn't follow the same setup. You know, they don't wake up in a ruined hotel room and have to kind of figure out what they're doing. It's kind of more of a linear film, and it definitely breaks the mold from the original films, but, you know, I think the tagline was, it ends tonight, or whatever it was. Some characters from the first movie are back. And Chad, what do you think of The Hangover 3?
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with it. We both kind of had the same sentiment. Loved the first one. So many quotable things. It's so new and original. Second one was awful because it pretty much was a carbon copy of the first movie, and they kind of lost what I love from the first movie, which is just seeing these characters interact. And yes, they were interacting, but it was like so forced into the same exact format, like shot for shot of the first movie. Whereas this one, they just kind of let it be its own thing.
Which apparently there's a good YouTube video of showing them shot for shot and how they were exactly the same. But
that's really funny.
Yeah.
So, you know, you get the characters that you love, and you get to kind of see them in a new situation. But there's still those little like fan service things that tie back. I really loved the tie back to the first movie. I don't want to say much more because it was a cool moment for me, where they literally have a shot from the first movie where they mention something and it comes back to play in this one. And like, obviously it wasn't thought out that much, but it just made it tie it together a lot more and was really fun and cool. Unfortunately, the thing that I didn't like about the second one is became all about Chow, and this one was basically the entire thing was the plot revolved around him. And he's a cool character, but I feel like in the first one he was cool
doses
because he was a little small part of it. It was funny because it was just this like one little character, as that was all these little characters in the first one. And this one was just like, it was all him again. And unfortunately, he's not the star. I want to see the friends act together as friends. But overall, I mean, there was really funny jokes in it and funny stuff that wasn't all in the trailer, which is always a good litmus test for comedies, because it seems like, you know, with so many comedies, that's what it is. The trailer is all the funny moments, where I feel like this had more funny moments that were in the trailer, so that was awesome as well. Bringing back the characters really from the other movies was really cool. Just kind of to see them again and for one last time you know, before it all ends. It's kind of like a road trip movie where they go to multiple different locations. They're able to tie Tijuana in there really well, and then obviously back to Vegas as we see in the trailer, which was cool to kind of go back there. And yeah, I mean, it had enough of the Hangover stuff from the first two movies, but it was differentiated itself enough to make it fun and new and fun. There's a funny tag at the end, so make sure you stay sort of halfway through the credits.
Yeah, it was really quick after the credits. It was really fast. Best part of the movie.
It was
easily.
Really awesome, and a great way for them to sort of say, if anyone had any criticisms that, oh, well, The Hangover's funny because it's like piecing together the night before, if anyone had complaints about this not having that will definitely be a fun.
Yeah, it was good. Definitely stay for that. And you know, I agree. I was very excited for this movie, but then the reviews started coming in. I'm like, oh wow, not really great reviews. So my expectations were lowered a bit, and I enjoyed the time with it. It's certainly better than 2. Doesn't compare to the first one though. But the characters are funny enough, and you see them in different situations, and you know, they're like, well, there's some unlikable moments in this movie, but you know, it was funny. I enjoyed my time with it. It certainly doesn't compare to the others. I like that it was a different format. You know, I'm happy that they didn't try to do the same thing, because the second, it just didn't have that same feeling. And you know, it's really just having these characters in ridiculous situations, and that's, you know, where they find the humor in it. And
they're able to like give them a purpose for trying to progress through. Like the first one and the second one is basically them trying to find one of their guys, right?
The person, yeah.
And they're forced to kind of go on these crazy adventures to go find them. Whereas this, they were able to kind of have that MacGuffin where they're like, this is why we're going to do it, but it wasn't the same thing, which is nice.
Agreed. There's not much to talk about. I mean, it's a mediocre comedy, I would say, but it still. I mean, if you saw the first two movies, I think you should just see this to round out the trilogy.
It was a nice way to end it.
I'm hoping it stays at a trilogy and they don't try to do... I think I heard that there's possibly a sequel that just centers on Chow, which again, I want to reiterate your point that he was a great character in small doses in the first movie because you didn't get his backstory. It's just like
he is a ridiculous
eccentric person. And his character is just maybe taken a little too far. The tag at the end, I mean, the movie might even be worth it just for the ending scene after the credits. It's tremendous. It's really funny. And then it kind of brought everything full circle. So, I thought that was good. So I'd recommend it if you're a fan of the series. If, 2 turned you off to it and you really still have a bad taste in your mouth, maybe don't go see it and wait for DVD, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And one other point about Chow, not to beat a dead horse, but I think his character was... Okay, so like the first movie was funny because it was ridiculous situations, but it still felt real. Like it's like these drunk guys. Like I've been drunk. I did that crazy stuff. Like I never stole a tiger, but I could see how events would lead to that. You know what I mean? And like Chow was just this crazy guy who they happened to come across, and like it's Vegas, so you expect it. But then once they expanded on him and made him this like international criminal and stuff, it just became so over the top that it made it not feel as real.
And he was also a character that you didn't. He was just ridiculous, and he was new, and like. I think it's the whole character's a little played out. There's not that... Yeah, he can't do anything that's going to surprise people anymore.
Right.
I mean, especially over the first 2 movies.
Yeah. So overall, a good watch. I mean, definitely better than the second one. If you liked the first one and you saw the second one, go see it just so you can at least close that out, because it is a good send-off. They do tie back to the other movies and have a little fun, like nuggets of stuff. So, The Hangover 3, check it out. It's out in theaters now.
So it's that time of the episode where we like to give our thanks. Chad, what are you thankful for today?
I'm going to thank something that was announced this week, long anticipated, this past week, the Xbox One, which is exciting.
You're gonna thank that?
Yes.
A lot of people aren't happy.
I don't care, because I want a new generation console so bad in the worst way. I like the fact that it's integrating Kinect more, because I feel like...
How about the always on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not... Whatever, because I have my Apple TV on all the time, so...
Yeah, but it's not recording you.
You mean the recording part of it?
Is always on. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all, but...
For me, that's cool. If like I did something cool and I want to go back and like watch it, you have the DVR thing now, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm excited just for a new console. It's going to be upgraded graphics, awesome, it has awesome specs on it. I'm really excited for that. The Kinect part of it, I like that that's kind of being integrated more. I don't want it to go all that direction, but I think that if it's just a little piece of it where I can, say Xbox on, it turns on, I think that's awesome. And, doing certain motion things, and they've enhanced the motion detection on it, so that's really cool. I'm excited for that next thing, and to be excited about a new round of games. I mean, the other one, the last generation was out in, like, what did they say, 2006 or something? Like, that's so long ago now, and it's exciting to get that upgraded hardware to have the higher powered games. And lately with a lot of the games we've been reviewing, the graphics feel dated, at this point. So I'm excited for that. No price or release date announced yet, so maybe that could change my opinion, but I'm just excited to be excited about a new generation and the new games that are coming out.
I'm curious about that. I mean, I think we could do a whole episode talking about it, but there's also another good YouTube video where they break down the press conference they had, and the focus was not on games at all. It was on television,
right.
sports television. Oh, well, we'll have some games, television, and they I worry that they're going to lose some focus in gaming, and it's not going to be a gaming... I mean, it's going to be always a gaming rig, but...
Yeah, and again, we can go crazy, but just I think that the next generation for them is integrating all those things together, because kind of like Apple did with the iPhone, where they integrated all these different devices together to be one. I think that's what they're trying to do with that, and I love the fact that you can switch between live TV, because that's a huge thing for me. Is like I don't go on and watch all the Xbox like demand services because it's like you have to go through all that to switch it.
They don't have a good user face. At PS3,
right, I don't like the
I
interface,
like their Netflix better and the way they have.
And
it
also
set up,
E3 is coming up, so I feel like they're going to focus on the game part of it then.
Well, that'd be good.
Yeah.
For my thanks today, I thanked this series before, but they're back. The Bluths are back in town. Arrested Development, the whole series is now released on Netflix. I think I'm 4 episodes in, and it is just great to have that series back. And it's so meta in their references. It's so funny. And there are a lot of cameos in the movie, or the show as well, which is great and really enjoyable. So, if you're living under a rock and you're an Arrested Development fan, go, and you don't have Netflix, go get like a free trial for a bit, binge watch it, it's worth it. So Arrested Development is back, but also we'd like to make a little announcement that we are going to be back at Philadelphia Comic-Con this year. It starts, I guess, the 31st, May 31st. We're going to be there on Saturday and Sunday. So if you are at the Comic-Con, you happen to pass by, say hi. We loved the time last year. It was a great amount of fun. So if you're in the Philadelphia area, check that out.
Okay, so we'll be back on Thursday. We're talking about the Fast and Furious 6 or Fury 6 or Fast 6. I don't know, whatever it's called. So make sure you check back for that. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.